In this tutorial video, you will be creating a student-friendly course with buttons. In particular, you will create buttons that will link to the course content and the Microsoft Teams live instruction. As a result of those buttons, you will create a banner at the top of the course by using the announcement feature. When you copied the course template, one of the folders that should have copied was a behind the scenes. This folder contains the button template that we are going to use as our banner. We will need to unpublish this so that the students will not see this folder. To unpublish the behind the scenes folder, you must go to the right-hand side and click the settings wheel. Underneath, you will see a white circle with the word unpublish. Go ahead and click that. Are you sure you want to unpublish? Yes. If you have successfully unpublished something, it will be grayed out. You will see it in your materials folder. However, in the student view, they will not see this. To make Schoology more user-friendly for our students, we are going to use buttons to link to the Schoology's course content and to other website links. In previous years, students had to navigate the content using the folders, which can be a little bit cumbersome for our students. So using images as buttons, it will make it much easier for our students to navigate. Let's take a moment and find the button template. In the behind the scenes folder, if you open it up, you will see 2020 Elementary Buttons template. When clicking into it, it will open the window and show you what our classroom button template will look like. We want to invite the students into a classroom. So we included a virtual image of a classroom. We are going to encourage you to upload your own virtual classroom, but if you don't feel comfortable, you can keep this image. When we scroll farther down, we see a button that we are going to link our Microsoft Teams course to so that they can join the live instruction easily. Underneath, we have daily lessons, and each of these images we will link to a folder of the day. Here are two helpful buttons for logging into Clever and some other websites that don't use Clever, like Kahoot or Quizlet, something like that. Down below, we have included links to the different specials so that it will be easy for the students to navigate to their courses. Similarly, we had to think about our special support services that our students get. So we included some images to create buttons for them. Underneath, we have classroom information. So we'll have buttons that will link to Meet the Teacher, Daily Schedule, Classroom Expectations, and Parent Information. Our last button will link the students to all the previous lessons. Now you may be thinking, these buttons look great, but I would like to include more color or different images. You are welcome to create your own buttons, but you must follow this framework. You must have the titles of daily lessons, links to specials, additional support services, and the classroom information. You also must incorporate the same number of buttons and use the same wording. We're trying to promote consistency across the district and make it very easy for our families to navigate. Now that we are ready to create our live buttons, we're going to need to insert some links. So what we need you to do is you're going to go to the settings wheel at the top right-hand corner. We need to edit this button template page. So clicking the wheel, the very first option is going to be Edit Page. When we edit the page, it's going to open a new window. The new window will have all of those images down below. Now, due to the smaller size, it may shift some of the buttons down, but do not worry because when we go to a larger screen, it will reformat it to fit appropriately. So to insert a button, to link it, we are going to select any of the images that we have done and create the links. So I'm going to start by working on the daily lessons, and I'm going to link each of these circle images to the correct folder. So in order to do this, what we're going to need to do is to open another tab at the top, so another Google Chrome tab that's going to have our course so that we can copy and paste the URLs a lot easier. So I'm going to go to the top, and I'm going to kind of use a shortcut. I'm going to right click, and I want to duplicate that tab. So it's going to take me directly to the same window that I was just at. I'm going to go back to the folders, and we're going to, as I said, start with the Monday through Friday buttons. So I'm going to do Monday first, and in order to link it directly to Monday's folder, I'm going to click into Monday. So at the top, you will see this URL is a specific URL that will direct the students to Monday. So I'm going to highlight that URL by clicking there, and we're going to do a shortcut by doing Control C for copying. So I'm hitting Control C right now. And now I'm going to go back up to the other tab. And now to insert that link, we are going to click the Monday image. If you've clicked it, it will turn blue. And up above in the toolbar, there is some chain links. To link something, we will click that button. And now it's asking us, where do you want to link it to? So now that I do Control V, I'm pasting that URL that I just copied. I will hit Insert, and I'm going to repeat this process over and over again for the other buttons. So I'll repeat it one more time. So let's say I want to do Tuesday. I'm going to click Tuesday's image. I'm going to go up to Insert the link. Now I don't have the URL copied right now, so I'm going to go over to my other tab, and I'm going to navigate to Tuesday's folder. Again, you must click into Tuesday so that we get that unique URL. I'm highlighting the URL at the top, Control C to copy, and now I'm going to go over to my template. Control V to paste, insert, and we've got that ready to go. You may want to do a couple buttons at a time to ensure that you're doing the process correct. So now if I go down to Save Changes, these buttons, Monday and Tuesday, will now be something the kids can click. I know that because it will turn the pointer cursor to a finger, and that means it can be clicked. And if I click Monday now, it will directly take me to Monday's folder. I go back, and I can do Tuesday as well, but if I go over to Wednesday, I haven't done it yet. And if you notice, when I hover over Wednesday, it's not a finger pointing, so I can click. So we're going to repeat this process multiple times for each of the buttons. So again, you do that by going into the edit settings of your page, clicking the images that you want, and then inserting the link. So a couple things just to understand. Coming soon, you will have your Microsoft Teams account set up, and each of those teams has a meeting can have a unique URL. So we're going to set up a reoccurring meeting that you're going to link here. When we go down to the specials, we've decided that the easiest way for the students to navigate would be to go to the special courses. So we are going to share out a Google document that is going to have all of the URLs, and you will just have to find the URL for your art class and then copy it over. Similarly for health, you would find your designated health class from that Google document and copy the URL from there. Similarly, we'll do the exact same thing for our support services. We're going to link those buttons directly to the kids' courses. And now you may be thinking, well, not all of my kids are learning support or get speech. If a kid clicked on the speech bubble and they're not a member of that course, it won't give them access to it. Underneath, we have the classroom information. These links or these buttons are going to directly link to folders that are already in your courses. So if I go over and go back to our template or in your course, you will see a folder that will say classroom information. In the classroom information, that's where you're going to see the Meet the Teacher, our daily schedule. And you will just click into the Meet the Teacher. That's the page that you're going to link. So you would copy the URL currently at the top. The last button that is on this page is linking the students back to previous lessons. So that again is a folder that is in that template titled Past Lessons that you would click into that. So just to recap, in order to insert an image or insert a link, you would click the image so that it's blue, and you go up to the insert link, and then you copy and paste the correct URLs in. I strongly recommend when you are done this entire process, you need to double, triple, quadruple check to make sure that every button is completely linked correctly, because this is going to be important for our next step when we create the announcement. Okay, so now that we have all of our images linked to live buttons and we're ready to rock and roll, we can now create an announcement. But as I said, make sure you double check that all of your links are ready to go. So in order to make the announcement, we're going to want to copy all of our button templates over to the announcement. So we are going to go to that settings wheel on the top right hand corner, and we're going to edit the page one more time, but we're not really editing the page. We just need to copy this information. So the easiest way to copy all of our images and links, we are going to click into that text box window, and we're going to select all. Easiest way to select all is to hit the button Control A. So after I hit Control A, notice everything is now highlighted blue. So now I'm going to copy this by doing Control C, and I can close out this window because I have copied it. The updates feature that we're going to use is on the left-hand side. It will be underneath your class profile image and underneath materials. So it has like a little post-it note. So when we click updates, it is going to have a text box appear that we would be typing our button template into. So we are going to click into that text box, and we're going to hit Control V, and all of the images now appear in there. And I apologize, I wish Schoology would make a little bit bigger windows, but all the information is going to be there. I know it may look formatted a little bit weird. It's because it's in a smaller window. So before some of you go, oh, I'm ready to go, hit post, we have to turn on the announcement feature. In order to make an update and announcement, you must click the little word cloud bubble right next to post, and you will see a bell. The bell is what makes it an announcement. You may see another icon for a person for the parent portal, but we want to click the bell, and this is going to make an announcement. And you're probably thinking, well, what is an announcement? What makes that different? Well, what you're going to see in a moment is that as an announcement, it takes and glues that announcement to the top of your materials page. So it will always stay there no matter what, unless you made a new announcement. So for those that like to change your virtual classrooms out based on the season, you can do this by just editing that out. For those that are a little bit less tech savvy, this is a one-time setup. It's done there, and you'll just keep it there. For those that did use updates last year, you can still add updates with messages like, oh, remember tomorrow is, if we have a special event happening, you can type that in, but just don't mark it off as a bell with the announcement. All right, now that I'm ready to rock and roll, I'm going to hit that blue button post. And there you go. You see your button template there with all the links. So if I go into materials, which the kids will be directed to that always, and I scroll down and I hover, all these buttons are there ready to go for them. And notice the kids don't see those folders right away. The folders are there, but they're at the very bottom of all those buttons. So they can see them, which is okay. They're going to navigate through those buttons at the top instead. We do not want to unpublish any of these folders except for the behind the scenes, because if we unpublish it, then those links would not work. So as the instructor of the course, when you're adding the new resources, you're going to have to scroll down to the bottom to add your materials to those folders. So yeah, we do the scrolling, but the kids don't, and it's going to make it so much easier for them to get to where they need to be. From this tutorial video, we learned how to create buttons and link them to course content and other outside URLs. In addition, we took our button template and created a banner at the top of our course page using the announcement feature.